Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping. Yeah. Cold shit. I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room, it's pop, 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 like you got rejected. Yeah. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tinted truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he ain't this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of. Niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options. Used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with it. At the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse the imposter. Shit get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Shit that hate make it to the featherweights. Niggas claim they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a stepper and a ruler. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick, baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Niggas swear he the go, bring him to the bush. To the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with him. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? From one West, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, and get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one West, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit, and I ain't leaving. Never. Ski mask transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die, skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glocky with me, it was like a ball with it. Be at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay dangerous. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one West, go to war with everybody.
Salam, Israel. This is the ISUPK, started at the 1 West 125th Street, Harlem. Salakia, what is this? Salakia. Videos keep on going, you know what I'm saying? But this is a ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. The ISUPK is not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite groups or religious organizations. You know what I'm saying? The ISUPK has been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans since 1969 the truth about the Bible, their history, their culture, their language. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you learn from this society about your God, you know what I'm saying? Yahweh in the Hebrew, you know what I'm saying, is not Christ. Christ is not God. He is the Son of God, you know what I'm saying, of the seed of David. That means he came through David's lineage, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, this is the Monday night history class, you know what I'm saying? We're going over how the curses are seen throughout history. You know what I'm saying? We've been going over the Willie Lynch letters and the making of the of a slave. You know what I'm saying? Willie Lynch letters and making of a slave. This is the third part 3 of this series. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people they know about the Willie Lynch letters, but they don't know how it correlates with the Bible. And that's pretty much what we're breaking down here. You know what I'm saying? Like we read about before, that we was gave over unto our enemies for our disobedience to the Lord. And I'm going to recap that in Leviticus chapter 26 and 26. I think I'll start at verse 9, 26 and 9. But anyway, the Willie Lynch letters is a diabolical record, you know what I'm saying, that shows the tactics that were used on our people, you know what I'm saying, and are still being used to this day. You know what I'm saying? The separation through classes. People, they call it classism. You know what I'm saying? Just because you got a better house than me, job than me, car than me, clothes than me, you live in this neighborhood, you go to this school, you know what I'm saying? Then they have a like different tiers of socialism in the society. You know what I'm saying? The cool kids, they got it all broke down, you know what I'm saying? Because I was affected with it in school. You know what I'm saying? And most Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are affected with it in school, because you know what I'm saying? You the cool kid, you the bum kid, those the nerds over here. So it's separatism in different fashions and different levels. Make sure that was being heard in different levels. And Willie Lynch, he perfected this system of separation, and to cause division, envy, strife, and hatred amongst us. You know what I'm saying? And we're affected to this day by this system, but not knowing that this system that Willie Lynch created is only affected on us, or is only able to work on us, is because we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of our most high God. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get started on Leviticus chapter 26, verse 26, verse 9. Verse 9, for I will have respect unto you, and make you fruitful, and multiply, and establish my covenants with you. Verse 10, and ye shall eat of the store, and bring forth the old because of the new. This is like what, if we stayed obedient, how Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans would be. So if you want to get more in depth, you can start at 26 verse 1 and read it through. Verse 11, and I will set my tabernacle among you, and my soul shall not arbor you. Verse 12, and I will walk amongst you, and will be your God, and ye shall be my people. And this is who he's talking to the children of Israel. You know what I'm saying? And that it'll make itself clear on down in the verses. Verse 13. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt. And that right there, we are the children of Israel. We are the ones that was in captivity and bondage, you know what I'm saying, in Egypt. Nobody else in the world did he do that for. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come to the Slovakians and the Jewish, so-called Jewish man, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the Polish, the Germans, the Australians, the English, you know what I'm saying, the Scottish, or he didn't come to save them. He didn't save them out of bondage from the land of Egypt. So that God loved everybody, it has to match up with the scriptures. Who did God really love? He loved the children of Israel. That was the world that he loved. Let's keep reading. Verse 13, for I'm the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, that ye should not be their bondsmen. And I have broken the bands of your yokes and made you go upright. Because if you look at Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans right now, they are not upright. You know what I'm saying? They are not upright. Their morality is dead. You know what I'm saying? Chivalry is dead. You know what I'm saying? Everything that makes us righteous people, we're doing the opposite of. We're following after the ways of the heathen. You know what I'm saying? We're doing everything that the heathen do. Everything that the Romans did, we want to do. Everything that the Greeks did, we want to do. We pledge in Kappa Beta, or whatever sorority or fraternity that's out there. We'll sell our souls to be like the oppressor, because we haven't looked in this book and been taught by the priests and prophets of the Lord and the ISUBK, you know what I'm saying, to understand this book. You know what I'm saying? We want to go to a breakoff group because it's not as militant. We want to go to a breakoff group because they still date heathen women. They want the Lucy Lou's. You know what I'm saying? They want the Jennifer Anistons. You know what I'm saying? They want the African, not knowing that these people have put us in bondage, and they're a part of the reason why we're still suffering to this day, because we have not returned to the Lord. We want to do what we want to do. We don't want to take heed, right? I have broken the bands of your yoke and made you go upright. Verse 14, but if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments, just like I said, that we don't want to take heed. We don't want to hearken. We don't want to listen diligently to good things, to the righteous things, to what's right. Now they make the argument that right's in the eyes of the beholder, just like it's beauty, like it's an object. It's subjective. Well, what's right for you might not be right for me. You know, that's your opinion. No, there's an absolute truth. There's an absolute truth. Concrete, written in stone. And that's the law, statutes, and commandments of this Bible. It was written in stone. And now you don't close your heart off the truth. We tend to respect feelings, respecters of persons, other than obeying our God. But anyway, let's get in some more. But if ye verse 14, but if ye will not hearken unto me and will not do all these commandments, verse 15, and if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul harbors my judgments, so if your soul hates with punitive, without cause, refuse my commandments, Salakia, if ye despise my statutes, or if your soul harbors my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments, but that ye break my commandments, what's breaking his commandments? Putting somebody up on a pedestal and worshiping him is breaking one of his commandments. You shall have no gods, no gods over me, before me. If you're eating shrimp, crab, and lobster, catfish, snake, alligator, squirrel, all these rodents that's a redneck delicatessen, slug burgers. If anybody from Corinth, Mississippi, a slug burger, which has every abominable piece of meat, or it's just nasty. It's nasty. And they serve it at restaurants in Nashville. Pork, horses, all kind of abominable things. These things are tools. Certain animals are tools. They're not meant to eat. Verse 16, but also will I do unto you, I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of the heart. And ye shall sow your seed in vain, and your enemies shall eat it. You know what I'm saying? So one thing that the Willie Lynch letters proves is that they brought horror unto us. William Lynch, or Willie Lynch, taught our oppressors, the European man, woman, and child, how to control and make us slaves. They trained us up like animals. They bred us like animals. As soon as a young woman came on her flower, they was forcing, or they was making selective matings. So child rape, sex trafficking of our little daughters. They were selling our daughters. Hold on. Slovakia. Slovakia. So let's go ahead and get back into the Willie Lynch. Sure. All right. So we left off at page 15. You know what I'm saying? Page 15. When it comes to breaking the uncivilized nigga, or N-word, use the same process, but vary the degree and step up the pressure so as to do a complete reversal of the mind. So that's one thing. They want to take what you know, your instincts. know what I'm saying, and beat it out of you. What morals you had. They want to degrade you and grind you down to the like fine powder so they can remold you into what they need. You know what I'm saying? And if you got little ones by you, this is that great terror. You know what I'm saying? Verse 16, I will also do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning ague. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to breaking uncivilized niggas, use the same process, but vary the degree and step up the pressures so as to completely reversal of the mind. Take the meanest and most restless nigga, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining male niggas and females, and the nigger infant, tar and feather him, tie each leg to a different horse face in opposite directions, and set him afire and beat both horses and pull him apart in front of the remaining niggas. If that's not terror, who did that happen? Who did that happen to in the scriptures? Let's find it. Maccabees, the 6th chapter. Eliezer, hold on, son. Chapter 7. Let's see. Hold on, bear with me. Stop, yeah. I gotta find this for y'all. Because they did the same thing. It's like wash, rinse, repeat. They do the same things over and over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Because they know that they can get inside and make one person weak and break the law of God. Then they make it trending. They'll put a TikTok video about how cool it is. Yeah. Hold on. The book of Maccabees, second Maccabees, Lucky. I was in the wrong book. Wrong book. Is that right? 6, 8, 8, 6. You can draw with me. No possible. You should be something. So lucky. 18 through 21. Let's see. The time of the child shall sanctuary. Jesus story. But tell you, go to so that's 7, 6, yeah, Eleazar. Let's go to Second Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 6 and 18. Verse 18. Eleazar. This is Second Maccabees, the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of the well-flavored countenance. This was old, what we call an old head. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Some people call them unks. You know what I'm saying? Old schools. You know what I'm saying? He's well of age. And a favored countenance. So he had a high reputation amongst the people, and was constrained to open his mouth to eat swine's flesh. But he chose, verse 19, but he chose rather to die gloriously than to live strained with such an abomination. Spit it forth, and came to his own accord of the torment. Now, this is the same thing. He said, but vain degrees step with the presses and do a complete reversal of the mind. So this what Eleazar, they're trying to change his mind into eating swine's flesh and in a decree to the king. You know what I'm saying? And that was to Ptolemy. Take the meanest and the most relentless nigga and strip him of his clothes. So if we go down a little bit, let me see. Let's go down to 28. This is the book of Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 28. And leave a notable example to such being as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honor and the holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately went to the torment. Verse 29. They had led him, changing the good will they bare him a little before into hatred, because of this foresaid speech proceeded, as they taught from this hold on, as a desperate mind. Verse 30. But when he said, when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said, it is manifest unto the Lord that have the holy knowledge, and whereas I might be been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in my body and by being beaten, but in soul I'm well content to suffer these things because I fear him. He's saying that he fears the Lord, not the Greeks. So you can just imagine that our people that resisted the slave master or the cracker, the oppressor, you know what I'm saying, and they died horrible deaths. as you can see, you can say, take the meanest, the most relentless nigga, strip him of his clothes in front of his remaining male niggas and females and nigga infants, tar and feather him. Let's see what goes on here. What did Eleazar go through? Let's see. Let's go to chapter 7, 2 Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. And it came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the laws to taste swine's flesh, and were tormented and scourged with whips. So this is a mother with her 7 sons, and from how Eleazar stood up against the oppressor, they went through the same things by not eating swine's flesh. But verse 2, but one of them spake and first said thus, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die, rather than to transgress the law of our fathers. Verse 3, then the king, being in a rage, commanded pains and cauldrons to be made hot. Verse 4, which forbade being heated, forthwith being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongues of him that spake first, and to cut off the other parts of his body, the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. So this is the same thing. They took the strongest, the meanest, what do they say? The meanest. Hold on. And the most restless nigga, strip him of his clothes in front of the remaining. But they cut this brother's tongue out. He stood up for the truth. He stood up against the oppressor. He'd rather die than to go against the laws of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? We got to find that zeal within ourselves to be able to stand on your 10 toes and fight for this truth. Fight to wake up your brothers and sisters, even though that we're going through the harshest, and there's even more coming. There's more anguish coming. You can see that's brewing up overseas, and it's going to affect the whole world. And it's going to put United States, Iran's going to put United States in a position where they have to push that button. Because Iran said they can fight a forever war. They're waiting for the truce. So don't send your babies off to join the military just because they got a $50,000 signing bonus. They ain't even paid the price. They bonuses. They complain about them not getting their money. Let's keep reading. The next step is to take the bullwhip and beat the remaining niggas, males, to the point of death in front of the females and the infants. Don't kill them, but put fear of God in him, for he can be useful for future breeding. So they're going to break his spirits, make them damn near die in front of the females and the infants. Why? To make them subservient. Why do you think all these people are getting shot by the police on TV and they're getting off? All these people, they talking about they got qualified immunity. So they're giving them license to kill. You raise your voice, license to kill them. You snatch your arm away, kill him. You running with your back turned to the police like Dan when he got killed up here over here by Pearl Cone. on Joe Johnson Street. So they did that in the middle of projects to put a message out for the rest of y'all niggas need to stay in line or you'll die just like these. It's an old tactic that our oppressor uses. And the solution for that is gather yourselves together. Gather yourselves together. There's power in numbers. You don't see them shooting agents. You don't see them shooting the Chinese man, the East Indian man. They do crime just like we do. They sell drugs just like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans do. But they don't go through half of the hardship that we go through because we have a covenant with the Lord and we broke that covenant. We want to put ourselves as God. We don't want to listen to nobody. You done heard so much trash from the oppressor that you think all his mythology, you just group it all together because they put a white face on Jesus, on Yahushua. When that image is nowhere in these scriptures. That Patrick Swayze, long dog-haired, have him up. Salaki, I almost said something I was supposed to. You know what I'm saying? They passed that off as one of the greatest men that ever walked the face of the earth. They did it to all our heroes, all our prominent people that lived in the past. The Renaissance era. That's when they repictorialized our history and put their faces on our saints. It's like on what's that movie? Face Off. You know what I'm saying? They took one man's face off and put another man's face on. And that man, Caesar Borgia, the sixth Pope of Rome's son. We'll get into that one day. Let's keep reading. The next step is take a book. No, we already got that one. The breaking process of the African woman. So now they got a process for the men and they got a process for the women. Because you know how our women are. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they are feisty. They got fight. They're very emotional creatures. They're very delicate creatures if they're guided in the right way. You know what I'm saying? But if you leave that power or her abilities unguided, they'll turn into monsters. They will turn into the worst enemy to themselves and their household. And this is going to break that down of how they broke our women. And possibly you can correlate. The breaking process of the African woman. Take the female and run a series of tests on her to see if she will submit to your desires willingly. So they're like, hey, run tests, run game on them. You know what I'm saying? Treat her different, treat her nice. Bring her in the house. Let her sleep on the floor. And they say, run a series of tests. Test her in every way because she is the most important factor for good economics. Now, why is he saying that this is the best, the most important factor to good economics? Because she is able to breed. You know what I'm saying? She bears children. If it shows any signs of resistance in submitting completely to your will, do not hesitate to use a bullwhip on her to extract that last bit of bitch out of her. Take that last bit of bitch out of her. Take care not to kill her, for in doing so, you'll spoil good economics. When in complete submission, she will train their offspring in the early years to submit to labor when they become of age. Because they had our babies working in the field right next to their mamas, learning how to work. Mama go to work, baby go to work. If baby can walk, baby going to work. If baby's nursing, baby strapped to mama's chest. Baby's in the environment. Baby's getting the vibe. Baby hears the whip. Baby hears the screams and the yells and the moaning. And mama teaches the baby how to be safe, how to survive, how to live in that environment. Not getting freed, not trying to fight for your freedom or die for your freedom. But how to exist. Don't say nothing, baby. Keep your head down. Don't look them in the eyes. You know what I'm saying? No, boss. We good, boss. Let's keep reading. Understanding is the best thing. Therefore, we shall go deeper into this area of subject matter concerning what we have produced here in this breaking of the female nigger. We have reversed the relationship. What happened out here now? They've reversed the relationship. They got females wanting to be alpha males. They want to portray themselves to be just like a man, that they don't need any man. Lesbianism is running rampant through the Black community, Hispanic community. Rampant. Homosexuality. What's the young Black boy or the young Hispanic boy going to do if their mother's talking about they don't need a man? You know what that little boy's going to do? Start mimicking being a woman because he's getting downtrodden by his own mother in today's time. Back then, they beat it out of him. Because you know who the oppressor wanted the female to look up to? For safety, for food, for clothing, and want of all things? The oppressor. In her natural uncivilized state, she would have a strong dependency on the uncivilized nigger male. She would have a limited protective dependency towards the independent male offspring, and would raise female offspring to be dependent like her. You know what I'm saying? Nature had provided this type of balance. We reserve nature by burning and pulling one civilized nigga apart by and bull whipping the others to the point of death in all her patience. Let's see. Mm-hmm. So like it, excuse me. Let's go to Mark 3 and verse 27. The book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 27. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing they did, was buying up the strong man. They done tarred, feathered, they done pulled the strong man apart and whipped the others. Our oppressor is the most deviant bastard on the face of the earth. He is the wicked of the earth. The animals don't even like it. When animals attack, hey, that show only exists because of the hatred nature has for our oppressor. Because everything's unnatural nowadays. Everything's going extinct. And one day they'll become extinct because of the actions that they've chose to and the evils that they have done on the face of this earth. Judgment must be passed. You can't get away with hundreds of years of rape, rob, and murder to the Lord's chosen people. Can't get away with that. You'll surely be put to death. Let's keep reading. By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, and that's what they did with us. They put crack in our streets. They put drugs in our neighborhoods. And what happened to us? Our image was destroyed. The ordeal caused her to move from her psychological dependent state to a frozen dependent state. And in this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reverse roles. For fear of the young male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong. And that's why you got a bunch of these YNs running around with switches, you know what I'm saying, killing each other because somebody hurt their feelings. Somebody said the wrong thing. Somebody scuffed your shoes in the club. Now you have to kill them. Because why? You became mentally weak and dependent. We can't stand on our own too. We can't express our faults or our faults verbally. Instead of wanting to kill somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because she became more physically, psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to be psychologically independent as well. What have you got? You got the nigger woman out front and the nigger man behind and scared. This is a perfect situation for sound sleep and economics. You know what I'm saying? It's a plan from the get-go. We dropped our sword. Now we choose this. They don't they don't know the wickedness or understand the wickedness that our oppressors have done to us. You know what I'm saying? Just because they give you a good job, you can get a car, you can drive cross country, but you can't go outside these borders and stay gone. Trust me, they got the slave catchers on the other side of the ocean. You stay, let your visa run out. They're going to arrest you and send you right back to your plantation. You're in the plantation of the United States of America. That's what plantation you on. We the oldest slaves known on record. But we don't have the self-awareness that the tricks are being played. The game's set up. You're set up to fail. The streets, you're gonna either die, go to jail. That's the only options that you get running the streets. They want you to keep that prison industrial complex alive and running. Now, it's on cruise control now. This is the perfect situation for sound sleep and economics. Before the breaking process, we have to be alert and on guard at all times. Now we can sleep soundly, for out of our frozen fear, this woman stands guard for us. He cannot get past her early infant slave molding process. He is a good tool, now ready to be tied to a horse at a tender age. So that means whatever whatever work that horse gonna do, this nigga gonna do. Now you got them mated together. They gonna till the fields. They gonna pick the cotton. They gonna plant the seeds. They gonna go out and kill the meat, slaughter the meat. Better not save no meat for himself, or a hand gonna get cut off. He gonna bring all the meat back to the master, and the master gonna feed him the slop. That's why you eat chitlins, hog maw, pig's feet, pig ears, pig nose, everything. Everything that's abominable to the Lord, he gonna feed you to keep you from having the Lord look over you, to bless you, to protect you. He gonna do everything possible to keep you from serving the Lord. Even if it's from cars, clothes, hoes, money, property, that raise at work. That Asian girl that you lusting over. That heathen girl that's going to have you wearing kimonos and putting red dots on your forehead because now you're Buddhism. Our people wants to be everything but except what they're meant to be. That's kings, priests, princesses, warriors. The oppressor wants you out here lost. The oppressor wants you to not have morals. He wants you to be effeminate. He wants you to be a homosexual, a lesbian. So that way, you ain't gonna fight. What morals can you stand on? Because every war started because a moral principle has been broken. You can't expect morals out of a people that are savages, that eat people. Literally. You seen on the Epstein files, they've been eating babies. Mm. Let's keep going. By the time a nigger boy reaches the age of 16, he is soundly broken in and ready for a long life of sound and effective work and the reproductions of a unit of good labor force, continually through the breaking of uncivilized niggers by throwing the nigger female savage into a frozen psychological state of independence, by killing the productive male image, and by creating a submissive, dependent mind of a nigger male slave. He will, male slave, we have created a orbiting cycle that returns on its own axis forever, unless a phenomenal occurrence and reshift its position of the male and female savages. We know that we mean by example. Take the case of the two economic slave units and examine them closely. So that's one thing that the ISUBK under Commander General Yohana has done since 1969. We have reverted the minds back. What did it say? Unless a phenomenal occurrence and reshift the position of the male and female savages, because that's all we do. All this, the ISUBK is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It took an old game banging, drug dealing nigga like me, robbing, thieving, lying, and it was phenomenal. It reverted me. It reshifted the position of the male. It reshifted my mind. I was born again. And now I serve the Lord. Now I keep all the feast days, the high holy days, like the Passover coming up April 4th. April 4th in Houston, Texas. The Feast of Unleavened Bread. The Feast of First Fruits. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate my brothers and sisters. I love my brothers and sisters like I love myself. I want the best for myself, so I want the best for my brothers and sisters. I'm not out here half-stepping, you know what I'm saying, putting this mask on once or twice a week and taking, I almost suffocated. I truly love my people, and I want to see my people come together up under one banner in the ISUBK under Christ. We've been living wicked for too damn long. We've been struggling for too damn long. Too damn long. That's too damn long. We tried everything. Everything. We done been Buddhists, been Muslims, been Christians, been Seventh-day Adventists, been Jehovah's Witness, been in witchcraft, Wicca, Wiccans. We've done everything but be obedient to the Most High God. Everything but that. But I'm going to end the class with that. You know what I'm saying? We got the Passover coming up April 4th in Houston, Texas. You know what I'm saying? The BH Ranch. Pay your Passover fees. $200 for every person 17 years old and up. You know what I'm saying? So we got a full itinerary for the week. You know what I'm saying? You'll have the best time of your life. You know what I'm saying? If brotherhood, sisterhood is the vibe that you're looking for, where you don't have to worry about nobody stealing from you, and you don't got to worry about nobody's pickpocketing, smoking weed all in your face, hot boxing the hotel room. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is a place you need to be. All so-called Israelites, all Israelites across the world, if you can make it, be there. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, I'm Officer Parak Gabar. This is the Nashville, Tennessee School. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. The ISUPK is not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group or religious organizations. The ISUPK has been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans their true history, culture, and how to serve God since 1969. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, that's my time.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yohana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yohana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.